Do you think you can come into this house with that baby in your belly? Nkechi shouted. She slapped Zara. The sound was very loud. Zara's face hurt like fire. Her stepmother Nkechi was very angry. Her eyes looked scary. Her voice was so loud all the neighbors could hear. I said this would happen, but your father did not listen to me. Zara touched her big belly. Tears fell down her face like rain. The baby inside her was moving. Get out of my house, her father Emeka shouted from the door. His hands were shaking because he was very angry. You have brought shame to our family. I sent you to church to be a good girl, but you got pregnant for the pastor. Pack your things and go away. Now! Everyone in the compound was quiet. Even the chickens stopped making noise. All the people were listening to the shouting. Zara was 18 years old. Her full name is Chizaram, but her mother, who died when she was just 2 years old, used to call her Zara. She lived in a village called Umudim, a place where both poor and rich people lived. The houses were very close to each other. You could hear your neighbor talking. The streets smelled like fried fish and car smoke. Her father, Obioma, fixed bicycles under a big tree. His hands were always dirty from oil, but he worked very hard every day. He wanted his daughter to have a better life. Her stepmother Nkechi sold rice and stew from a big pot. A very wicked, selfish, and heartless woman who hated Zara with her full chest. After Zara's mother was buried, then her father married Nkechi. Nkechi had 4 boys of her own. She never liked Zara. She always said Zara was too pretty and would bring trouble. She finished school but had no money to go to university. So every Sunday, she went to Victory Chapel, a small church near their house. The church was painted white, but the paint was falling off. My darling, I don't want Zara in this house anymore, Nkechi said to her husband one morning. They were sitting in their small living room that smelled like yesterday's palm oil and dust. Her voice was sharp like a broken bottle. If she must stay here, she will feed herself. I will not cook for her anymore. Nkechi's eyes were hard and cold like stones. She brings bad luck to our family like a black cat crossing our path. She counted on her fingers all the bad things that had happened. It's been 5 years since my son Fabian finished university, but still no job. He has applied to many companies. He has gone to so many interviews, wearing his one good shirt that we ironed over and over. But no work is coming. Nkechi's voice got louder and angrier. What about Caleb and Ugo? They keep failing their exams like broken radios that won't work. You and I both know it wasn't my fault that stupid girl didn't go to school. There was no money. She pointed her finger at the small room where Zara slept. Ever since she came to this house, everything has been going wrong. She is like a curse walking on 2 legs. Obi stood up slowly. His legs felt heavy like bags of cement. He was confused and tired. His face looked like someone who had been carrying a heavy load for too long. Zara is not going anywhere, he said, but his voice was quiet and weak. I promised my wife before she died that I would take care of her daughter. I cannot break that promise. He scratched his head with fingers that were rough from fixing bicycles all day. But if you want her to take care of herself, okay. If that will make you happy, my queen. Obi's shoulders dropped down like a man who had lost a fight. He loved his new wife, but he also loved his stepdaughter. He felt like he was being torn in two like a piece of cloth. Nkechi smiled like a cat that had caught a mouse. Good. From tomorrow, she will find her own food. I am tired of feeding someone who brings nothing but trouble to this house. Mother, I'm very tired and hungry, Zara said in a weak voice one morning. She had just finished filling all the big water containers in their compound. Her back hurt like someone had beaten her with a stick. Sweat was dripping down her face like rain. But there is no food in the kitchen for me to eat. This pot was full this morning after I cooked it. Zara pointed to the big empty pot that still had some rice stuck to the bottom. Her stepmother Nkechi was sitting on a wooden chair, fanning herself with an old newspaper. She looked at Zara like she was looking at a cockroach. Get out of my way, you useless child, Nkechi said with a mean voice that sounded like an angry snake. The food has finished. My 3 sons and I ate all of it. She stood up and pointed her finger at Zara's face. From today, no more food for you in this house. You will feed yourself and buy your own clothes until you stop bringing bad luck to my sons. Zara's mouth opened wide like a fish out of water. She could not believe what she was hearing. Mother, You know I am only here doing housework, Zara said, her voice shaking like a leaf in the wind. I don't have a job. The last time I told you about getting a job, you didn't permit me. You scolded me like a loud trumpet. How can I get money to buy food? She spread her hands out like she was begging. I spent all my time cooking, washing clothes, fetching water, and cleaning the house. You don't like to see me sitting down doing nothing? When will I have time to work and get money for food? Zara fell on her knees on the hard ground. The dust made clouds around her. Her knees hurt, but her heart hurt more. Please, mother, I'm begging you, she said, with tears falling down her cheeks like a broken tap. Get your dirty hands off me, Nkechi shouted, moving away from Zara like she had a bad sickness. I have said what I said. No more food for you. But I'm hungry, mother. My stomach is paining me, Zara cried, holding her belly that was making angry noises. I don't care if you're hungry, Nkechi said with a cold heart like ice. Find your own food, or you can pay the grave a visit. I don't care anymore. She turned around and walked away, leaving Zara kneeling on the ground, crying like a lost child in the market. Zara walked slowly to her small room. Her legs felt heavy like rocks. She closed the door and threw herself on her thin mattress that was on the floor. The mattress was old and had holes in it. She started crying very hard. Tears fell from her eyes like heavy rain. Her chest was moving up and down as she cried. Mama, why did you leave me? She said to the empty room. She looked at the old picture of her real mother on the wall. The picture was cracked and yellow like an old leaf. I miss you so much, Mama. If you were here, nobody would treat me like this, she whispered to the picture. Her stomach made loud, angry noises like a growling dog. She was so hungry that it felt like something was biting her inside. She wiped her tears with her dirty dress and stood up. I have to be strong like Mama taught me, she said to herself. Zara went back to the kitchen. The kitchen was small and dark. It smelled like old food and smoke from the cooking fire. She looked around for anything to eat, maybe some leftover rice or even breadcrumbs. She was so hungry she would eat anything. Under the wooden table, she saw a big pot with a lid on it. Her heart started beating fast like a drum. She lifted the lid very carefully. Oh, she said quietly. The pot was full of white rice that looked fresh and good, the same rice her stepmother said was finished. So there was food all along, Zara said sadly. She lied to me. Zara wanted to take some rice and eat it quickly. Her hand was already reaching for the food. But then she stopped. No, she said to herself. I will show her that I found it. Maybe she forgot about this food. She carried the heavy pot with both hands. It was so heavy that her arms shook. She walked slowly to the sitting room where her stepmother was sitting. Nkechi was looking at herself in a small broken mirror. She was putting powder on her face to look pretty. Mother, Zara said in a small voice. Please, let me eat just a little bit of this rice. I found it in the kitchen. Nkechi turned around and looked at Zara. Her eyes became very angry, like fire. Who is your mother? She shouted so loud that the neighbors could hear. Don't call me mother, you stupid girl. Before Zara could say anything, Nkechi jumped up like an angry cat. She took the pot of rice from Zara's hands. Try this nonsense next time and see what will happen to you, Nkechi screamed. Then she did something very cruel. She turned the pot upside down and poured all the rice on Zara's head and face. The rice fell on Zara like white rain. Some went into her eyes, some went into her mouth, some fell on the floor and scattered everywhere. There, eat your rice, Nkechi laughed like a witch. Go and cook your own food, you useless, stupid girl. Zara stood there with rice all over her hair and dress. She looked like a scarecrow in the farm. Rice was still falling from her head to the floor. She did not say anything. She just stood there with tears mixing with the rice on her face. Her heart was broken into many pieces like a glass cup that had fallen down. The other children in the house, Bibian, Caleb, and Ugo, were watching from the door, but they did not help Zara. They were afraid of their mother's anger. Zara bent down and started picking the rice from the floor with her hands. Each grain of rice felt heavy like a stone in her heart. Zara's tummy hurt so bad. It made loud noises like an angry dog. She had not eaten food for many days. Her eyes were full of water because she was so sad and hungry. The sun was going down. The sky looked red and orange. Zara looked at the kitchen, but there was no food for her. She felt like crying more. I must go find food, she said to herself, or I will die. She walked very slow to the small church. Her feet had no shoes. The ground was hard and hurt her feet. Tears fell down her face like rain. At the church, she saw Pastor David. He was a big, tall man. He looked very nice in his clean clothes. All the people in their poor town knew him because he had a car. Not many people had cars. Pastor David was talking to God with his eyes closed. Zara sat down and waited. She was scared to talk to him. Sister Adeze, Pastor David said when he opened his eyes. He looked very surprised to see her. Why are you here? What is wrong? He touched his head like he was thinking hard. I am very hungry, Zara said in a small voice. Pastor David smiled big. Don't worry, I live alone. No wife cooks for me, but I made some food. You can eat with me. Thank you, sir, Zara said. Her heart felt happy for the first time in days. She ate rice and chicken. Her tummy stopped hurting. She felt strong again. Thank you so much, she told Pastor David and went home. But when she got home, something bad happened. Through the window, she saw Nkechi and her stepbrothers. They were eating big pieces of yam, the same yam that Zara had dug up from the ground all by herself under the hot sun. Zara's heart broke like glass. She ran to her bed and cried so hard. She looked at the picture of her dead mama on the wall. Mama, she cried. There was food here all the time, and I had to go back like I have no home. The next day, Zara told her daddy what happened. She thought he would help her, but daddy's words made her feel cold inside. Okay, I heard you, daddy said. He did not look at her. He did not care. Right then, Zara knew something scary. Nobody would help her. She was all alone in the world. From that day, Zara went to church many times. Pastor David always gave her food. She did not have to work hard for it like at home. But Zara did not know that Pastor David was watching her more and more. His eyes looked at her in a way that made her feel funny inside. And she did not know that soon, the food would not be free anymore. Something bad was coming. Something that would change everything. Zara, he would call her after church. You are special to God. I want to help you. I have something for you that will make your stepmother not hurt you again. At first, Zara felt happy. The pastor was talking to her. He gave her books to read. He asked her to come to special prayers. Come to my office on Wednesday evening, he would say. We need to pray for you. His office was a small room behind the church. It smelled like old books and candles. The walls had pictures of Jesus. At first, the meetings were normal. They would pray and read the Bible. Pastor David would put his hand on her head and pray for her, also give her food. But slowly, things started to change. Sister Zara, he said one evening, God has shown me that you are very special, and you are becoming special to me too. Zara felt confused. She was young and did not understand what the pastor meant. God sometimes talks through feelings, he told her. What you feel for me might be from God. One night, Zara couldn't sleep. She thought about Pastor David. She started observing something strange about him, but she couldn't stop going there because she didn't go. She would be hungry for days. God, protect me, she prayed before sleeping. It was a rainy Wednesday evening. The church was empty. Only Zara and Pastor David were there. The rain was hitting the roof very hard. Lightning made scary shadows on the wall. Sister Zara, Pastor David said softly, God has told me that we should be together, but this must be our secret. Zara's heart was beating very fast. She was scared but also excited. A man of God wanted her. But Pastor, she said quietly, you have a wife to marry soon. Pastor David's fiancée lived far away in the village. She only came to visit sometimes. God's ways are different, he said. Abraham had many wives. David had many wives. God understands love. That night, in a small office, Pastor David did bad things to young Zara. She was too young to understand that what he was doing was very wrong. This is holy, he said. This is what God wants. But it was not holy. It was not what God wanted. It was a big man hurting a young girl. For 3 months, Zara kept meeting Pastor David in secret. He would say nice things to her. You are my angel from heaven. God sent you to me. One day, we will be together for everyone to see. Zara believed everything he said. She loved Pastor David very much. She thought God had chosen her to be special. But then, her body started changing. Her monthly bleeding stopped. Her chest became bigger. Food made her feel sick in the morning. "Oh no," she said to herself one morning as she threw up. "I think I have a baby in my belly." She was very scared. What would her father say? What would her stepmother do? What would people think? She ran to Pastor David. "Pastor, I think I have a baby in my belly," she said, crying. Pastor David's face changed. The kind smile went away. His eyes became cold and mean. "What are you talking about?" he said in a harsh voice. "I never touched you. You were only eating my food for free." "But Pastor, you said it was God's plan. You said..." "You are lying," he shouted. "You probably went with some boy and now you want to blame me. Get out of my office." Zara could not believe it. This was not the same man who said sweet things to her. This was a mean stranger. "Pastor, please," she begged. "You know what really happened. If you tell anyone this lie, I will make sure you and your family suffer. Do you understand?" His voice was scary like a snake. For 2 weeks, Zara tried to hide her pregnancy. She wore big clothes. But Nkechi was smart. One morning, Nkechi caught her throwing up. "Zara, come here now." Nkechi's voice was very loud. Zara came slowly. Her legs were shaking. Nkechi looked at her carefully. She saw that Zara's face was getting fat. Her chest was getting bigger. Her belly was starting to show. "You have a baby in your belly," Nkechi said. Zara started crying right away. "Who put the baby there?" Nkechi asked, getting louder. Zara could not speak. She just cried more. "Talk!" Nkechi screamed. "Who got you pregnant?" Pastor David," Zara said so quietly that Nkechi could barely hear. "What?" Nkechi's scream was so loud it scared the birds. "The pastor?" "Our pastor?" That evening, when Emeka came home from work, Nkechi was waiting with angry eyes. "Your daughter has brought shame to us," she said before he could sit down. "What happened?" Emeka asked. "She is pregnant for Pastor David." Emeka's face changed many times. First, he looked confused, then shocked, then very angry. That evening, when Emeka came home from work, Nkechi was waiting with angry eyes. "Your daughter has brought shame to us," she said before he could sit down. "What happened?" Emeka asked. "She is pregnant for Pastor David." Emeka's face changed many times. First, he looked confused, then shocked, then very angry. "Zara," he shouted, "come here now." That's when the slapping and shouting began. That's when they threw her out of the house with only the clothes she was wearing. Zara sat on the road that night. Cars went by with bright lights, the air smelled bad from car smoke, people walked past her without looking.